Metro Atlanta is officially expensive, and some first-time homebuyers are officially being priced out of the market. Does that mean it's better to just rent? Where can you still find a reasonably priced home? And is the American dream of owning a home over for people living in Metro Atlanta? Not so fast. Hi, I'm Sarah Maslowski with KeyPoint Homes Group, a local real estate agent here in the Metro Atlanta area, helping clients from all over the country move here to Georgia. The last few years in real estate have been unlike anything before, and with interest rates higher than we've seen in a long time, people are worried that it's just simply too expensive to own a home. So is it true that the Metro Atlanta area is officially too expensive, and how can you set yourself up for success in owning a home today? For starters, gone are the days where you can find a home in any town you want to be in for under $300,000. At the time of filming this video, in Hall, Gwinnett, Jackson, Barrow, and Forsyth County, there are a total of just about 2,500 single-family homes for sale. Now, of those 2,500 homes for sale, 99 of them are listed for less than $300,000. That is just under 4% of the homes on the market in these 5 counties that are listed under $300,000. And of those 99 homes, just about 10 of those aren't houses at all. They're just really parcels on land. Over half of these listings are modular homes, and a good majority are not homes that most would consider habitable, meaning that you really only have a handful of options in that price point. That is a tough pill to swallow. Now, one thing that can be rather frustrating is when someone reaches out and says that they have a very limited budget, but they don't have any interest in a townhouse. With a townhouse, sure, you're going to have, like a smaller yard, and you're going to have neighbors right there on you, but you're going to find you have much nicer options of a townhome listed under $300,000 than you would a single family home listed for the same price. You have way more opportunities as well if you're open to considering townhomes. Now, in these same 5 counties, there are 376 townhomes listed for sale, and 65 of those are $300,000 and below. A townhouse is also going to be your only opportunity at getting a new construction home under $300,000 in these 5 counties. Coming in below $300,000 is going to be a challenge no matter where you end up. You can look in South Georgia and find a lot more affordable options there, but there are plenty of reasons that go into the south half of the state being so much more affordable. I went in depth in this video, so make sure you check that out. But the main reason you'll find that North Georgia is vastly more expensive than South Georgia is because there are significantly more opportunities for higher education, jobs, and higher paying jobs in North Georgia. The more urban an area is, the more expensive it's going to be. Currently, the average sales price of a home in the greater Atlanta area is $513,000. Now, if you look at Alpharetta's average sales price, that is $772,000. Beaufort is $548,000. And Cumming is $648,000. None of these are what you would classify as first-time homebuyer price points. Have no fear though, there are areas and opportunities to find homes at a more affordable price. One of the most affordable options right now is buying a new construction home in a more rural area that qualifies for a USDA loan. Recently, I had a client who was interested in a new construction townhome in Houston, and the builder's preferred lender was offering both a rate buy down and money towards your closing costs. Plus, this home was in an area that was eligible for a USDA loan. When you're eligible for a USDA loan, you don't have to put any money down as a down payment. You only have to pay for closing costs. In this scenario, the builder's lender was paying for the closing costs, meaning that this buyer could have purchased this home with essentially no money out of pocket whatsoever. Not everyone will qualify for a USDA loan because this is a loan program that does have income limits for borrowers, and not every house can be purchased with a USDA loan because they can only be used on homes in approved rural areas. So this isn't going to work for just anyone anywhere, but this can be a huge money saver if you have a more limited budget and you're open to living in a slightly bit more rural area. If you are wondering if you would qualify for this type of loan program, reach out to me and I can put you in touch with my awesome local lender who can go over all of your options with you. You aren't going to be able to use this type of loan in areas like Alpharetta, Beaufort, or Swanee, but you can use it in areas like Auburn, Winder, Jefferson, and Monroe. These are going to be where the most affordable homes are anyways, since they are more quote unquote rural. If you haven't heard me talk about Monroe before, this is the place to be if you are looking for new construction options. If you are looking for a new construction ranch on a basement for under $500,000, Monroe is going to be the place for you. Big new farmhouse on a private lot, Monroe. This is the next kind of up and coming town, and again, it's one of the few places where you have multiple options for new construction in the $400,000 to $500,000 price point. I think it's time that I made a whole video about Monroe. If that's something that you'll be interested in seeing, let me know in the comments below. The average sales price in Monroe in August was $427,000, which is almost $100,000 less than the average price in the greater Atlanta area. These more affordable areas do still exist, but it won't be long before they aren't affordable anymore either. Just like home prices are rising, so is rent. When you rent a home, you are putting money towards someone else's mortgage and future equity. Obviously, not everyone has the credit score, employment history, and cash reserves available to obtain a loan and purchase a home, or maybe you just simply don't know if this is going to be your long-term area. But just like we talked about, there are loan options available where you don't have to have a large chunk of cash sitting in the bank in order to buy a home. If you're renting currently and have any desire to ever own your home, the best way to set yourself up for success is to go ahead and have a conversation with a great lender who can give you feedback on what strategies you can use to get yourself on that path to be able to buy. If you wait to have these conversations until you think you're ready, you might find yourself in a position where you still have quite a bit of work to do in order to buy, and now that you have to use that money you've saved up for a down payment on 6 or more months of rent because you are still not in a position to buy. This is a heartbreaking setback that I see time and time again because people don't want to talk to a lender because they assume it would be a hard credit pull, which, by the way, does not have to be done, or because they're a little bit embarrassed by their finances, when in reality, avoiding this, it just puts them further in the process of being behind. Again, I work with some absolutely incredible lenders who can go over all of your options with you, help you get on the right path, and they truly want what's best for you as well. They are never going to guide you into an option that will make you house poor, and want you to be able to see all of your options and see what makes most financially sense for you and your family. There are a few things that make Georgia homes more affordable than places like Florida, which we hear from a lot of people who are deciding between the two states. And those two things are things like homeowners insurance, you've got taxes, and HOA fees. Homeowners insurance in a state like Florida that is constantly being beat up by hurricanes is massively expensive compared to rates here. And recently, in fact, some insurance companies have even decided to drop coverage altogether. We are hearing from more and more people who are packing up their bags and headed somewhere new because of this. We also hear from people in states like New York that they just can't stand the taxes anymore. I've talked at length before about taxes here in Georgia, and though we have income taxes, our property taxes are lower, and most people find that Georgia is a more affordable place to live overall. Make sure you check out this video if you want a more detailed explanation about taxes here in Georgia. Another thing that you'll find here in Georgia is that HOA fees are drastically cheaper here than in many other states. And this is most likely only going to set you back a few $100s a year as opposed to several $1,000s a year like it would in a neighborhood in Florida, Arizona, or Virginia. I recently saw this article talking about states with the highest average HOA fees, and I was so shocked to see how many people are spending per month in other states. Unless you are in an active adult community or a gated neighborhood with a country club and extensive amenities, you can expect to pay around $500 to $1,200 annually in HOA fees here in Georgia. It looks like people in Missouri are spending on average $461 a month in HOA fees. That's crazy. So what do you think? Are you interested in finding out what you can do to put yourself in a best position to buy a home in the future? Or are you watching this from another state thinking, hey, that's pretty cheap? Let me know in the comments below. There are still affordable areas in the Metro Atlanta area, and there are opportunities to help you get into a home. I would love to help be a part of this process for you, and you can find my contact information below this video. Also, make sure you subscribe to our newsletter to stay up to date on all things moving to Georgia, and check out this video if you are thinking about making a move here.